Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Raging Red, the Dixie State choir, singing the national anthem tonight. Very beautiful rendition. And now we are ready to play some basketball. Carrick Segmiller, Drayson Ball with you. A very short TDS pregame show, so let's hop right into the rest of these things we've got to get to. There are items of business before we tip this thing off. Drayson, Lonnie Boys Barbecue, keys to the game tonight. Obviously, you mentioned Colorado Mesa, a very good defensive team. In fact, the best defensive team in all of Division II, the entire country. 45.2 points per game is all they allow. Very hard to score against this Colorado Mesa squad. Obviously, one of the keys has got to be to find ways to score against a very tough defense.
No doubt about it, and that's exactly what the keys has to be for Dixie State is you've got to be able to knock down shots. We know, and we've seen in the previous couple games, Dixie State has had trouble scoring, especially when they get good looks inside the painted area and around that restricted area. They've got to be able to knock down shots today. One key for me is going to be if they can knock down their three-point shots today. The closest game that Colorado Mesa has had came 3 weeks ago against Black Hills State. It was a 65-64 finish. Obviously, Colorado Mesa won that game, but Black Hills State scored 8 3-pointers, and they also got to the free throw line 27 times. Dixie State is going to have to be able to make their three-point shots when they get them, when they get their open looks, finish inside against a tough defensive team, and try to get to the line as much as you can and get some easy points.
Interestingly enough, Dixie State, a team that very much so relies on the three-point shot. Colorado Mesa only allowing 26% completion rate on the three-point attempts. You look at the 2 games they've lost this season, those teams were not successful from beyond the arc. 4-9 for Tarleton State, and then 3 out of 18 for St. Martin. So can't necessarily rely just on the three-point shot, but like you said, for our Lonnie Boys Barbecue's key to the game, can't have empty possessions, got to make your shots when they count, and got to find good shots. Can't force anything tonight. Those are your Lonnie Boys Barbecue keys to the game for the Trailblazers. I would add a good start. This is certainly a team that you cannot afford to have to dig out of a double-digit hole from. That will not happen against a very tough Colorado Mesa squad tonight. And now for some Boulevard Home starting lineups before we tip this thing off. Colorado Mesa will start like this: a 5'8" junior guard, Sophie Anderson; 5'9" junior forward, Sierra McNichol; a 5'7" senior guard, Sydney Brandon; a 5'8" junior guard, Kylan Rigsby; and a 6'1" junior forward, Kelsey Siemens from Tucson, Arizona. Drayson, Dixie State going to start the same way: London Pavlica, Kesley Stevenson, Maddie Loftus, Allie Franks, and Chesney Stevens. Dixie State in the home whites, Colorado Mesa in the row blacks. The ball is up and tipped back by Siemens and into the hands of Sydney Brandon. And Colorado Mesa with the first possession will set things up just underway inside the Burns Arena. One of the premier matchups of the weekend. Dixie State sitting in that 4 spot in the RMAC right now. Colorado Mesa in the number 1 spot. Here's Rigsby. Bouncing it inside, lost it. Dixie State pounces on it. Maddie Loftus the steal. The Trailblazers have it. We're scoreless. 30 seconds gone by.
Great defensive possession to start this game. It was a low shot clock anyway. It would have been a tough shot from Siemens had she been able to get it off, but a good steal on the first possession.
Loftus backdoor look for Chesney Stevens, and she had her, but the ball was kicked. And Dixie State will have it on a 20-second shot clock, 9:21 to go. First quarter still scoreless.
And we're going to see if Dixie State can be able to bring the energy, especially getting off to try to have a good start like you mentioned. The bench is into it right now. They got to be able to get into a good start and use their energy coming into this game.
Franks, newest member of the Dixie State 1,000 point club. Jumper from the free throw line is short, and Sydney Brandon corrals the rebound for the Mavericks ahead to Rigsby. Rigsby looking for Siemens, nothing there, instead to Anderson. She'll find Siemens. A post player, but she can shoot it from the outside. Holding on the right wing. Inside, looking for McNichol. McNichol trying to bounce a pass, nearly stolen. Instead, they'll swing it to Rigsby, left wing 3 on the way and in.
Yeah, that was just a kind of a broken possession for Colorado Mesa as Dixie State nearly had another steal, but Maddie Loftus wasn't able to corral it, and it fell out into the hands, and she drilled it.
Rigsby averaging 9.3 points per game. Kesley Stevenson to answer, misses a 3. Allie Franks the rebound, and she's fouled. No, she stepped out of bounds. Colorado Mesa forced her out of bounds, and that's classic Maverick women's basketball right there.
Interestingly enough, for Colorado Mesa, not starting their leading scorer today, Daniela Turner, 15 points per game, does not enter the starting lineup for today's matchup.
And in fact, she hasn't started a single game this season. Number 1 off the bench, number 1 in the scoring column. Here come the Mavericks. Jumper from the right elbow. McNichol, it's up and in. She's got off, no, excuse me, Rigsby hit the other shot. McNichol with 2, and it's a 5-0 Colorado Mesa lead. And we'll see if Dixie State can get on the board on this possession. We mentioned Trailblazers not able to afford a slow start in this one. Pavlica to the right wing, and Franks drives to the free throw line, stops the dribble, back to Loftus, hoists a 3 right wing. It's off the mark, right side. And a rebound to the Mavericks, and Sydney Brandon. She wants to push it across the timeline, now slows it up. On the angle right side, front court right, now center of the floor for Sydney Brandon of the Mavericks. Settling into the offense with 18 seconds, pass tipped inside by Stevens and stolen by Loftus.
And that's what you got to do against this Colorado Mesa team, is you got to get your hands on the ball, get some deflections, and maybe get some steals. You've already done it twice tonight.
7:20 remaining first quarter. Trailblazers looking for their first points of the game. Allie Franks can't quite convert the 3-point shot from the right wing. Had a good look, but it came out, and the rebound to the Mavericks. Leading 5-0, trying to add to it are the Mavericks from Grand Junction, Colorado. The best team in the RMAC so far, save the standings. Anderson, left wing for McNichol, and she'll jump it and score it from the baseline left. And just like that, Coach Gustin wants a timeout. He wants to talk some things over. We'll keep it right here. Remind you that timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. In fact, never mind, they're going to extend it to the media. So we'll take it. 6:58 to go. Dixie State is 7-0 advantage, trailing 7-0. Back at 60 on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Camping World is here to help you connect to adventure and explore the outdoors with friends and family. Offering new and pre-owned RVs to fit every budget and thousands of parts and accessories for any need. Camping World has it all. With over 130 supercenters nationwide, you're never far from America's #1 RV dealer. No matter where your adventures take you, whether you need an RV, parts, or service, Camping World is here to help you every step of the way. Visit Camping World in St. George or shop campingworld.com today.
Trailing 7-0, and we talked about needing a fast start. Trailblazers 0 for 4 from the field. Meanwhile, Colorado Mesa 3 for 3 from the field, and you cannot let this Colorado Mesa team get up big early because it will be tough to fight back against the leading scoring defense in the country.
Yeah, and I think what it is right now, Dixie State just needs to settle down a little bit. I think you come into this game, obviously it's the #1 team in the country, the #1 team in the conference, the 22nd ranked team in the country. Maybe you get a little bit overzealous and over anxious. Settle down a little bit. The 3 for 3 for them, the 0 for 4 for you. Those percentages aren't going to hold up for the rest of the game.
Trailblazers with the possession. Here's Stevens. Mid-post right, she'll drive inside and get it to go off the glass. And Dixie State on the board. 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the first quarter, they find their first field goal, trailing 7-2 now. 6:35 remaining on your Camping World scoreboard. Mavericks looking inside. Rigsby forces it up. Was it deflected? Yes, it was. Out of bounds. Mavericks will maintain possession.
Yeah, I think it was last touched by Pavlik, but on the previous possession, good job by Chesney Stevens to get down low. One of the reasons Colorado Mesa is so good defensively, they're very long. They don't have a whole lot of size. Only 6'1" is Siemens, but they are very long defensively.
Here's Anderson for McNichol, driving inside. Right-hand scoop. Short off the iron. Dixie State the rebound. Here's Pavlica pushing the issue. Center of the floor, spinning inside, is stripped out of her hands and stolen away by Daniela Turner. Excuse me, not Turner, that's Sydney Brandon. And she'll drive it up the floor the other way. It's blocked by Stevens and back off of Brandon and out of bounds. Not only do you get a block, you get the steal.
Dixie State matching the defensive effort here by Colorado Mesa, and a good job here so far by Chesney Stevens. Really, defensively, the Trailblazers have played pretty well. They've just gotten unfortunate bounces a few times on that end, and Colorado Mesa leads.
5:55 to go first quarter. 7-2, Dixie State trailing. Trailblazers just 1 for 5 from the field. They're trying to turn that around here. Pavlica for 3, left wing, bang. A Mountain America three-pointer for Dixie State, their first of the game. Dixie State a quick 5-0 spurt within 2 at 7-5.
And she was working the two-man game with the screen there. Her defender went underneath and it was kind of indecisive.
Rigsby, a couple of dribbles inside the arc left side, and she'll splash home a 15-footer. and it's 9-5. Dixie State trailing by 4. 5:25 remaining. Rigsby, the game's leading scorer with 5 points. 5:15 remaining, first quarter. Dixie State within 4. Loftus for 3, left wing, too strong. And Siemens the rebound for the Mavericks, hands off to Turner.
Those are the shots I'm talking about. When you get those open three-point looks, especially with a good shooter like Maddie Loftus, you got to be able to capitalize.
And Siemens for 3 the other way from the left wing, and she splashes it up and in, and it's a 12-5 Colorado Mesa lead with 4:50 remaining first quarter. Teams trading 5-0 runs.
And she's the sharpshooter from outside. She's the 6'1 center in the middle.
An offensive foul the other way. Dixie State will turn it back over.
But Siemens, like I was saying, 6'1", she plays down low, but one of the things that is kind of her main game is to be able to stretch the floor, get out, play on the perimeter. She's a 45% three-point shooter. She is going to be tough to beat, and that's going to pose a problem for Dixie State, is if they get Chesney Stevens, Brianna Moiai, and Michaela Johnston even, they pull her away from the rim, those rim defenders, because she can play on the perimeter.
Dixie State with their first sub of the game. It is Moiai checking in for Stevens. Right side jumper from Rigsby is too strong. Dixie State the rebound. Here's Pavlika, races across the timeline, hesitates, drives right, kicks it back out to the right wing, and Loftus. Loftus will dribble a couple of times at the free throw line, kicks it back out to London. London looking inside, trying to go a little pick and roll with Brianna Moiai. Try to force a pass over the top, and it's stolen. The Mavericks with it. Daniela Turner into the game. She'll hand off to McNichol. For Brandon. Three-point land straight away. Siemens, high post right side. Into the right corner now as Rigsby pulls up 10 feet away on the baseline right side. A jumper. Can't get it to fall, and here comes Dixie State.
It's going to be critical for the Trailblazers to be able to get the rebounds when they do miss on the offensive end for Colorado Mesa. You got to win the rebounding battle if you're going to have a chance tonight.
Loftus will bounce to Franks. Franks, skip pass right wing to Pavlika. 10 to shoot. Pavlika steps into a 3. It's short. Moiai battling for the rebound. She's got it. She'll put it back up and in. A big bucket. A rebound and a bucket for Brianna Moiai.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. If you can get some offensive rebounds and get some easy looks there at the basket on your end off an offensive rebound, it's going to give you a lot of momentum and give you a good chance.
Dixie State within 5 at 12-7. 3:14 to go, first quarter. Here's Brandon. Drives off the three-point line straight away, and it's fouled as she gets into the paint and as she tries to attempt the layup.
And they're going to get Brianna Moiai just kind of trying to play help side defenses. Brandon was putting a lot of pressure on the Trailblazers, gets into the paint, and Moiai comes over, just gets there a hair late, and is forced to foul Brandon, and sending her to the free throw line, an 83% free throw shooter this season.
Second foul of the game, Dixie State. Chesney Stevens has one. Brianna Moiai has the other. First free throw from Brandon is up and in. 83% from the line this season is Brandon. Second one on the way, up and in. Brandon makes both. Now 57 for 68 from the free throw line. Free throws brought to you by Vintage at Canyonland. The Blazers within 7, 14-7. 3 minutes to go, first quarter. Pavlika. Left elbow to Stevenson. To the right and Loftus. Inside the arc, now kills the dribble right side. Will hand off Moiai, right wing. 7 to shoot to Loftus, deep 3 right wing. Hoists it up, and it rims in and out. And not a lot going offensively. You can see that lethal defense for Colorado Mesa. The Mavericks the other way. 2:34 remaining, first quarter. Dixie State trailing by 7, 14-7. Baseline left jumper for Daniela Turner, the Mavericks leading scorer, and she knocks it in. And it's a 16-7 lead, a game-high lead for the Mavericks at 9 points.
And she is so smooth offensively. She can get to wherever she wants to, whenever she wants to, and she's a good shooter to boot.
Franks to the right side and Kesley Stevenson. Deshka Olsen's up off the bench to check in for the Trailblazers on the next whistle. Stevenson holds right wing, gets a screen for Moiai. To the free throw line, hands off to Pavlika. A runner in the lane, can't get it to go, gets her own rebound. Left it short the first time, second time is up and in. 16-9, second chance points for the Trailblazers. There's been a few of them.
And that was a great job by Pavlika just to stay with the shot. She knew it was short. She didn't try to get back on defense. She stayed with it and got the second effort to go.
Here's Rigsby driving inside on the left side. Puts it off the backboard and in.
A lot of the points coming from Mesa right now is coming right at the rim or right around that restricted area. You got to be a better job on the perimeter to not let your assignment get by you.
18-9, Dixie State trailing by 9. 1:23 remaining first quarter. Franks left wing, skipping it right to Pavlica. Screen coming from Moiai. Free throw line, jumper, short, gets her own rebound, second time, up and in. I think we call that play number 1 tonight. Screen from Moiai, high post. Pavlica misses the first time, gets the rebound, and scores the second time.
That was the exact same play, and it was the exact same result. Pavlica just padding her stats right now.
She's going for that triple-double. 18-11, Dixie State trailing by 7. 54 seconds remaining first quarter. Brandon, top of the key. Domgard just checked in, and she fires a 3. Misfires off the left side of the rim and out of bounds.
Yeah, rare miss for Savannah Domgard. A 6-foot junior out of Eagle Mountain, Utah, right here in the state. A 40% three-point shooter, but good defense there by the Dixie State to force that kind of a deep 3 there. And anytime you get a 3 that they miss, you'll take it.
Substitutions. Ellie Walters and Tori Catlett in for the Mavericks. For Dixie State, Stevens is back in alongside Deshka Olsen, and Ashley Greenwood is in to run the point with 42 seconds remaining first quarter. Greenwood, three-point land straight away to the right elbow, now to Franks. Franks will bounce into Stevens, one-on-one with Catlett spinning right off the window, and she's fouled. Likes to turn and kind of go to her right, and gets into the paint. Is fouled, she get free throws, and is fouled by Sydney Brandon.
Yeah, that was a good move there by Stevens. As you see, they were kind of calling for that play. She goes to her right and then back to her left and forces Catlett to kind of get underneath her arm there. Draws the foul on him, makes the first free throw.
First free throw up and in. Second one, good. Free throws brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. Trailblazers back within 5, 18-13. Shot clock and game clock nearly identical, maybe half a second difference. So the Mavericks can play for the final shot. 18-13, Trailblazers trying to keep this a 5-point game going to the second quarter. Turner steps into a deep 3 straight away. No, Allie Franks the rebound. Trailblazers have time here. Franks ahead to Greenwood. Half court with 5, loses, and a kicked ball against Colorado Mesa.
Yes.
Thought it looked like.
As Greenwood crossed over, it hit the back heel of Brandon. You see right there that right back heel.
Inbound with 3, Greenwood straight away, crossing over to right, gets in the paint, fires up a jumper, no, just short. A pretty good look from Ashley Greenwood, and that would have given the Trailblazers a shot in the arm heading to the second quarter, but still within 5, 18-13. After 1 quarter of play, Colorado Mesa 18, Dixie State 13. Take a 1-minute timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
When Southern Utah thinks of home furnishings, they think of Boulevard Home. But when Boulevard Home thinks about home, Southern Utah comes to mind. In 1974, local pioneer descendant Tony Whitwer decided to start a furniture business. He decided to name it after Southern Utah's most famous street, St. George Boulevard. Even though Tony has retired, his family's legacy still lives in who we are, a company dedicated to one goal, making your house home. Boulevard Home. Home is who we are.
Dixie State 4 turnovers in the first quarter. Seems like they have settled down in the last few minutes.
Yeah, and Mesa forces almost 17 turnovers a game, so you got to cut back on that for Dixie State.
And right on cue, Dixie State will turn it over for their 5th of the first half. Trailblazers being led by 7 points from London Pavlica, 7 of the 13 so far. Here's Turner for the Mavericks. Will set it up, 15 to shoot. Brianna Gillen is up off the bench. She'll check in next whistle. Deep jumper for the Mavericks. Rims out, but they get the offensive rebound. Looking for Catlett inside. Inside to Brandon now. The runner off the back iron. And an offensive rebound again for the Mavericks. They're trying to see if the third time's the charm here. Brandon, dribble handoff Walters. Dribbling left, now gives to Turner. Free throw line jumper, too strong. Offensive rebound, Catlett. A fourth try on this possession.
And this is where I talked about rebounds. It's going to be so critical. You cannot give this team extra possessions, especially when they're so good defensively.
There's Turner, three-point land straight away. Driving right, gets inside, high off the window, tapped around, offensive rebound. Turner, a fifth try. Baseline right side, Turner scores it. Rings around and falls through. When you get 5 tries at it, you're bound to score. 20-13. Dixie State trailing by 7.
That was just the first possession of the second quarter. It lasted 1 minute and 20 seconds off the 4 offensive rebounds.
Trailblazers the other wing, settling into the offense. Franks with 12 to shoot. To the left side, Stevenson. Back to Franks, three-point land straight away. 7 to shoot. Here's Olsen dribbling left. Gets to the left block, stops, kicks it out. Franks fires a 3 with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Rims out, and Brandon tries to chase it down, and she'll knock it out of bounds. Dixie State will have it back. I think Stevens touched it off the loose ball. I don't know if Sydney Brandon thought that the Mavericks touched it. Now the referee's discussing. And that's a shot clock discussion, that there was never full possession after the miss. So shot clock will be at 20 is what they're asking for.
And the ball definitely hit the rim, so it should have gone back to at least 20, which is what they're going to rule now.
So it's the offensive rebound reset. There was never clear possession after the missed shot. So here we go. Dixie State will try to find some second chance points. Pavlica off a screen from Gillen. Pick and pop to Gillen, left wing. Hands off to Loftus, 8 to shoot, behind the back dribble. Step back 3, left wing is short. Ball tapped around and into the hands of the Trailblazers. Dixie State getting some offensive rebounds here. Pavlica inside, and she is fouled on her way to the bucket. So both teams giving up offensive rebounds.
Here we have had 2 possessions in this second quarter. In almost 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds have gone off the clock. Dixie State with a minute-long possession on that end, and they go to the free throw line with London Pavlica, who's already leading the team in scoring right now with 7 points. She gets an opportunity as a 52% free throw shooter to try to get a few here.
And I think we've got a technical foul after the play against the visitor bench.
That was on the visitor bench.
So, I mean, no further explanation whether that was a player at the end of the bench. Pavlica will make the first technical free throw.
And I'm just wondering, and I think J.D. Gustin is wondering too. I mean, Pavlica is not your best free throw shooter.
And those might have been her free throws.
Those must have been her free throws, because I was wondering.
So she shot her regular common foul free throws. And now here's Maddie Loftus, who's nearly automatic, over 90% from the free throw line, to shoot the 2 technical free throws.
Which answers my question as to why you would put a 53% free throw shooter on the line to shoot 2 technical free throws when you could choose anyone, and a wise choice in Maddie Loftus, who knocks them both down.
And that was an astute observation by you that Coach Gustin was asking the question, literally, who's shooting the technical free throws? Are these them? So here we go. Dixie State makes 3 of the 4 free throws and now has possession. This could be a huge possession, a big swing. Pavlica holding right wing. Dixie State trailing 20-16. London to the left elbow, stops, spins, floats it, no, gets her own rebound after it's tapped by Stevens. She's trapped underneath the bucket, finds Gillen, 1 dribble, shot blocked, and Turner comes down with it for the Mavericks.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate possession there for Dixie State, as they could have had the opportunity to make it a 5-point possession.
Here's Walters the other way for CMU. Backs into the right corner, now drives the baseline. Looking inside, a good look for McNichol. Leaves the layup short left side. Would have been a nifty play had it been finished, but here come the Trailblazers. Loftus spot up 3, right wing, too strong. And Turner another rebound on the defensive end, and here come the Mavericks. 20-16, 6:40 remaining second quarter. Turner dribbles into a free throw line jumper off the right side. Pavlica the rebound, and the Dixie State coaches urging them forward. Ahead to Loftus, left side. Short corner left side. Bounce inside to Stevens now, and her shot is blocked by by Siemens, and out of bounds off of Stevens, and Colorado Mesa will have it back.
And that's where that length comes into play. Kelsey Siemens, only 6'1". She matches up with Stevens very well, but she's very long. She's got very long arms and a wide wingspan, and able to block that shot.
Still a 4-point game. Now here's Siemens, left corner. She splashes it home. Her second triple of the night. A block on one end and a three-pointer on the other. And it's a 23-16 lead for the Mavericks, and Kelsey Siemens doing it all for CMU tonight. Loftus hesitates, drives inside, another block for Siemens. It'll go out of bounds, and Dixie State will maintain the possession. Franks will check back in for Gillen. 5:54 to go here in quarter number 2.
Once again, Kelsey Siemens, very, very good defensively. Just not able to allow you to get a lot of points there at the rim, and that's kind of where Colorado Mesa is doing right now. They're saying, hey, if you want to try to take it to her, go right ahead, and that's where you got to make your open threes when you get them, because you're not going to get a whole lot in the restricted area with Siemens guarding the rim.
Have a look at Olsen, right wing. Now Stevens, high post right side. One dribble, stops at the free throw line. Now lobs to Olsen, got to have a shot. She doesn't see it. It's going to be a shot clock violation. And a turnover back to Colorado Mesa. Kesley Stevenson will check in for Olsen. And Colorado Mesa could take the first double-digit lead of the game with a three-pointer on this possession. 23-16, 5:34 remaining. Siemens, top of the key, inside for Rigsby. Follow-away jumper in the lane, and it's true. 25-16, a 9-point lead for the Mavericks, matching their game high.
Speaking of 9 points, 9 points already for Rigsby, averaging 9 points per game already on the season. She's matched that in just 15 minutes here tonight.
Franks to the free throw line, kick back out, Loftus nearly stolen. She comes away with it though. Maddie to the left side, and Franks drives to the free throw line, touch pass into the corner, Pavlica for three, right corner, and she'll splash it home. She's got 11, and she's already got 8 rebounds. 11 points, 8 rebounds in the first half for London Pavlica. Colorado Mesa to answer, 3-ball left wing. It's up and in for Kylan Rigsby, and she's feeling it. 28-19, 4:42 remaining. Substitutions coming in. It's the media timeout. Under 5 media. 4:42 remaining, second quarter. Colorado Mesa 28, Dixie State 19. Take the 1-minute timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
A lot can happen when your sidekick is a dog.
Kicker! I got this.
That's why I use Zelle in the Mountain America app. It makes sending and receiving money fast and easy, so Kicker and I can keep the adventure going.
Zelle is now in the Mountain America mobile app. Quickly send and receive money from almost anyone with a bank account in the U.S.
Kicker, my sleeping bag.
I've got this.
All with the convenience and security of the Mountain America app.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
Dixie State trailing 28-19 as we welcome you back into the Burns Arena. Carrick Segmiller and Drayson Ball with you. And Drayson, every time seems like Dixie State does something good, trying to fight back into it. Colorado Mesa has an answer, whether it's Rigsby, whether it's Siemens, whether it's McNichol, or whether it's Turner. They have all these weapons that they can use offensively. They only score 63 points per game, but certainly they have some firepower offensively and able to answer what Dixie State has been able to do offensively.
Yeah, and if you're going to ask me what Dixie State's path to victory is you've got to be able to score. I mean, obviously that's the name of the game. It sounds silly, but if you can, if this game's a 45-50 game, you're not going to have a chance to win this one if you're going to play their style of the game. But if you can get up to 65, 70, 75 points, you're going to give yourself a good opportunity.
Moyati back into the game for the Trailblazers. Here's Pavlica. Back and forth, left to right. Now crosses over left. Stops, kicks to Allie Franks, 13 to shoot, into the lane. A jumper, and it dies on the back iron and falls through. 28-21, 4:16 remaining second quarter. Trailblazers within 7.
And Allie Franks gets on the board with her first deuce of the afternoon off a good feed from Pavlica.
And an offensive foul away from the ball. It's Sierra McNichol fighting for position in the lane. And Dixie State will get it back. 13 foul against Colorado Mesa. Here in quarter number 2. Love to see Dixie State put together a little run before halftime. Loftus driving right, kicks to Allie Franks. 3-point land straight away. Driving to her left, 10-footer, hangs, can't hit it. Offensive rebound, Moyai. The putback, no, but she's fouled. So close to an and one opportunity for Brianna Moyai, but nevertheless, she goes to the free throw line for 2 vintage at Canyonland free throws.
Already the 9th offensive rebound for Dixie State. They are dominating right now on the boards with a +7 advantage in rebounding right now. And like I said, if you can get 10 offensive rebounds per half, they're already at 9. You get all those extra possessions. It's going to give yourself an easy opportunity to get some easy buckets. And against a tough defense that doesn't allow you to get a lot of easy buckets, those offensive rebounds certainly help.
3:47 remaining. Dixie State going to go to the free throw line. Some confusion here. I think the referees are trying to identify exactly how many team fouls there are against the Mavericks. We mentioned after the last foul that it was 3, and now it should be 4, and it's up to 4. 14 fouls against Colorado Mesa in the second quarter. And Brianna Moyai. Trailblazers shooting free throws the rest of the way. First one up for Moyai, and it's off the left side. Brianna just a 47% free throw shooter. Should try to split the trip here and cut this game to a 6-point lead for the Mavericks. 28-21. 3:47 remaining. Second one up and in. Moyai, 3 points on the night. It's a 6-point game. 3:45 to go until halftime. Can Dixie State draw up a stop defensively? Turner to Brandon. And inside, shot won't go. Dixie State the rebound.
That was a good defensive possession on that one by Dixie State, forcing a tough shot offensively for Mesa.
Moyai. Hands off Pavlica. Pavlica to Loftus. 3-point arc left side, and a bump and a foul will go against Rigsby. Her first. More importantly, you put the best free throw shooter on the floor at the free throw line.
Yeah, just trying to be a little too aggressive there was Rigsby. She got beat off the initial dribble from Loftus as she puts her first free throw up and in. And Loftus was able to kind of put her body into Rigsby's, and she was able to draw the foul and get to the free throw line for 2.
Both free throws up and in for Maddie Loftus. Free throws brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. So Raya Winera into the game for the Mavericks for the first time. And she has her first touch, top of the key. Looking back door for Rigsby. Baseline right jumper. She's deadly from just about anywhere on the floor, but the mid-range game especially.
Yeah, and
for Kylan Rigsby.
14 points for her already. Only a 31% field goal shooter on the season, so she's having a really breakout game here tonight.
Pavlica, backdoor look for Franks, up and in with contact. Allie Franks, the bucket, the harm, and she'll have a free throw.
A great cut, but it was an even better find by London Pavlica. As you see, Allie Franks sets up her defender by juking to her left, and that gets Winera to commit towards the 3-point line. Allie Franks dips back door. London Pavlica finds her on a nice feed, and she lays it up and in for 2.
Franks will have 1 free throw. 4 points for Allie. Free throw is up and in. And it's a 3-point Colorado Mesa lead, 30-27. 2:43 to go. We've got a game inside the Burns Arena. Here's Rigsby, right corner, spinning away from Loftus, stops, 10-foot jumper right side, missed this one, and Pavlica able to chase down the long rebound, her 10th of the game already. Ahead to Loftus for 3 to tie, yes! We are tied at 30. 2:20 to go until halftime.
Another Mountain America 3-pointer from Maddie Loftus. Get the Ultimate Rewards checking account, mile-style checking from Mountain America. It features rewards like gift cards, cashback, and more. Details at macu.com.
Colorado Mesa to answer, three-pointer straight away. It's off the mark from Domgard. Domgard's taken 2 shots in this game, and they've both been from the top of the key and missed badly on three-pointers. And now Dixie State can take its first lead of the game on this possession.
And a first half double-double by London Pavlik, 11 points, 10 rebounds.
Tied at 30, 1:55 to go. Franks, left side jumper, up and in. Dixie State leads 32-30, and Colorado Mesa wants timeout. The Trailblazers come storming back to take the lead, 32-30. It's an 8-0 run for the Trailblazers over the last minute and 15 seconds. And if you go back even further, a 13-2 run over the last 3 minutes. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. Timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen. Remember, if you sign up for the DQ mobile app, you can receive a free small blizzard and new deals every week. Remember, this is fan food, not fast food. Dixie State, a 32-30 lead, and now, I thought the referee just said they extended it to a full, but Mavericks have already broken the huddle. So here we go. They charged him a full. And it's just going to, they're only going to take the 30. Mavericks will have to go the full length of the floor. And here we go. Dixie State on the heels of a 13-2 run have taken a 32-30 lead of the number 22 Mavericks. Brandon calling for help, finds Rigsby. Rigsby kicking it back, swinging it left. Brandon leads for Domgard to the right side. Here's Brandon. Brandon, top of the key. Turner with 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. Ball is loose. Top of the key. Not going to get a shot off. No, they did. Nope, shot clock violation. Shot did not draw iron. And Coach Taylor Wagner is infuriated. I tried to make up a word there. He's so mad I made up a new word. He's calling for Dixie State players not to be able to put their hands on his players, and it is a 5-0 foul count at this point in favor of Dixie State. Trailblazers with 1:10 remaining in the first. Franks blows past her defender, high off the window, no, and the rebound to Rigsby and the Mavericks.
But I like that. Allie Franks trying to get her own shot as trying to get into a rhythm on this possession.
And here comes the first Dixie State foul of the second quarter. Going to go against Kesley Stevenson. Kind of getting caught, trying to fight through a screen. The arms extended out, and that made it appear as if she was pushing through the screen. Chesney Stevens will check in. Deshka Olsen will check in. And Brianna Moyai is going to get a breather. Good minutes for Moyai. And Dixie State take the lead into the locker room. We'll find out. Turner for 3 straight away. She says, not if I have anything to say about it. Knocks in the 3, and it's a 33-32 Colorado Mesa lead. Franks finds Loftus as she had to track back to help get the ball in. Now they give to Pavlika. Gets it across the timeline, left side. Pavlika nearly had it stolen away, looking back to Coach Gustin for the play call. London crossing over to her left. Kicks to Franks. Gets inside, jumps it, no, tapped around. Stevens can't get the rebound. Shot clock is off. Mavericks can add to the lead here. If they're smart, they'll just play for 1. Here's Winera. Now for Turner. And they are going to back it out, just play for 1. But right now, certainly look like the Mavericks will have the 1 point or more lead at the half. Now 6 and 5. Turner straight away, guarded by Loftus to the free throw line. Left elbow jumper, no, and the ball tapped out of bounds, and that'll do it for the first half. Colorado Mesa 33, Dixie State 32, but what a run from the Trailblazers to fight back into this thing, and we have a game, a completely different feel inside the Burns Arena over the last 3 minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah, you can certainly feel the energy ramp up, especially from Dixie State's bench. They're into this game. The momentum completely flipped. It was Mesa all the way until about the last, like you said, 3 or 4 minutes in that first half, but then you made a couple of shots. The crowd got into it. You go on a 13-2 run. You get yourself within 1 at the halftime break, which if you'd have asked either of us before the game, if you said you could be within 1 at halftime, I think we would take that every single time at Dixie State. 33-32 going into halftime.
100%. Let's take a quick look at our first half highlights as we get set for our Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. Chesney Stevens got on the board first for the Trailblazers, and that broke a scoreless stretch of 4 consecutive misses. Then it was London Pavlica. She finishes 11 points and 10 rebounds, on track to be our SkyWest Airlines player of the game. Brianna Moyai came in. She scored 3 in the first half and had some big minutes. Pavlica had 3 different possessions where she missed or a teammate missed. She got the offensive rebound and scored it, and that's why she's already at 10 rebounds. Hitting from the right corner is Pavlica. I mean, this is like the London Pavlica highlight reel. But Maddie Loftus has 7. Allie Franks has 7. As you see, a couple of points there for Allie Franks.
Yeah, and this is the pass right here from London Pavlica. I mean, why not be the London Pavlica show? She carried a lot of the offense for the Trailblazers in the first half. And then, of course, Maddie Loftus hits the 3 there. Dixie State just 3 of 12 from downtown. You had Loftus hit one, and you hit Pavlica hit another one as well. So if you can get a few more of those good looks, I mean, you've had a few wide open ones that just haven't gone down. 3 of 12 is not great from the three-point line. If you can get maybe 4 or 5, 6 more maybe threes in the second half, you're going to give yourself a great opportunity.
Trailblazers within 1 at the half, 33-32. We'll just give you a few quick numbers. 33% from the field for Dixie State. I think that's the good news. You shot 33% the first half, you're only down 1. Colorado Mesa goes 43%. Dixie State does clean up, starts taking care of the ball a little bit better after 4 early turnovers, just 2 more, so 6 at the half. Meanwhile, 4 turnovers for Colorado Mesa. Dixie State, like we have mentioned, is leading the rebounding battle, 21-16, including 9-5 on the offensive glass. And a lot of these things are the recipe for success for the Trailblazers. They've just got to find a way. It seems like, although Colorado Mesa does have the lead, those last few minutes, I think Dixie State is the team that's taking the momentum into the halftime break. It'll be interesting to see, how they come out in the second half as the Trailblazers go back in and say, we don't care that this team is undefeated. We're playing with them. We're only down by 1. And, they've got to lose sometime. It might as well be us that deals them that first loss.
Yeah, another one of the glaring stats for Dixie State, at least defensively. They're 5 of 8 right now from downtown. Our Colorado Mesa, that's 62%. They're only a 30% three-point shooting team, so they're going to cool off a little bit from downtown. They're not going to go 5 of 8 again in the second half. And then for you, Dixie State, you're 9 of 11 from the free throw line, so you're getting to the free throw line often enough, and you're making them at a pretty decent clip that if you can continue to do that, you're going to give yourself some easy points at the free throw line. And then once that happens, you get some momentum. You see a shot go through the rim. Then you're going to get yourself into a momentum and a rhythm offensively. You might see some few other threes or shots go down as a result of that. And then Colorado Mesa just 2 of 2 from the free throw line, so they're not gotten there only 1 time. And so that's going to be one of the things to keep an eye on for me if you're Dixie State. Try to get to the free throw line and get some easy points there.
It's your Seven Oaks Jewelers halftime report. Seven Oaks Fine Jewelers is your one-stop shop for jewelry in St. George, Utah. Custom engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond earrings, custom laser engraving, and much more. Raging Red is performing at halftime, performing to a Ben Rector song. Very good taste in music. I like it. Like it a lot. Trailblazers down by 1, 33-32. Let's take the 5-minute halftime break and come back with more on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
We may have started out small, but we were great. Families and fans rallied behind their team. The community cared, and everyone showed up to cheer. Now, we're bigger than ever. Dixie State is going to Division I.
Here we go in transition, and he throws it down with one hand.
But at the end of the day, it's the community and fans that make us great. Whether you give $5 or 1,000, every dollar, every seat in the stands, every one of you can help blaze our trail to Division I athletics, because this is our team.
Radio Dixie 91.3, Young the Giant, something to believe in.
John, what song do you want to hear? Next, Miss Calendris. You'll be on the SWAT team, the SWAT team. That's a fantastic situation. I should talk to you. I was going to talk to you last time.
will be sure to step in.
Hopefully next year will be awesome.
4, 3, 2, 1.
From black, roll the open.
You know, we've been brainstorming for new ideas on Trailblazer Weekly, and we thought, why don't we try to get some more well-known personalities on the show? And then we thought, who better than Brooks the Bison? He would be a fantastic guest host.
Okay, Brooks, in 5, 4, 3.
Obviously, being a co-host didn't work out the way we planned. So we thought we can throw him in the control room and he can help run the show. But he's got hooves instead of hands, so he couldn't exactly push the buttons or control the dials that he needed to. And as you can imagine, we had a terrible show that week. I mean, nothing was right. We were coming from breaks when we didn't even realize we were live. It just didn't work out.
So we kept thinking about it, and finally, light bulb. He can't mess up being a camera operator, right? Wrong. He couldn't wear the headset, which means he couldn't hear the director. Brooks actually doesn't know right from left, believe it or not. And he spent more time taking selfies and posting to social media than running his camera. I mean, who knew that Brooks the Bison had his own Instagram?
We decided that Brooks was better off in his natural habitat where he belongs.
Trailblazer Weekly, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. on CEC TV, Radio Dixie 91.3 FM, and Dixie State Athletics YouTube page.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George 100.3 FM.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Dixie State trailing 33-32, but Dixie State trailed by as many as 9 points in the first half. And they used a 13-2 run to take the lead briefly. And then it was Daniela Turner with a three-pointer straight away to take back the lead for the Trailblazers, or excuse me, for the Mavericks at 33-32. But what a game we've got going here tonight as Dixie State hanging tough with the top team in the RMAC. Undefeated 11-0 in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference and ranked number 22. Broke into the WBCA top 25 this week at number 22. And it's interesting, their overall records are the same right now, Westminster and Colorado Mesa. Colorado Mesa does have a one-game difference, a one-game lead in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, but the Griffins up in Salt Lake City are pounding on the door of the top 15 in the country right now. They've been ranked most of the year, and Colorado Mesa just now broke into the top 25. Just kind of an interesting observation, and you'll have a top 25 matchup when the Mavericks go up to Salt Lake City tomorrow night. The question will be, will there be a first-place tie as the Mavericks go up to Salt Lake City? And of course, We haven't checked the score yet in Salt Lake City to see a very tough in the third place team in Western Colorado taking on the Westminster College Griffins tonight. So a lot of good basketball played in the state of Utah tonight. We want to give you a reminder for all you Trailblazer fans out there, a shameless plug for our Trailblazer Weekly show. Every Wednesday at 3 p.m., Drayson and I will break down all things Dixie State athletics with interviews with coaches, student athletes, trivia challenges. Drayson got the win in our most recent trivia challenge. It was Fact or Fiction this last Wednesday. And we do have an update from Salt Lake City. Western Colorado 27, Westminster 18. The Mountaineers will be in the Burns Arena tomorrow night. This is probably the toughest home weekend of the season for the Trailblazers. I won't say the toughest weekend because they've got to make the return trip to Grand Junction and to Gunnison in just a couple of weeks. But there's kind of a look around the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference a little bit, and these are your top 4 teams. There's like a 4-way tie for that 4th place spot right now, but Dixie State, as the standings show, are in that 4th place spot right now, and it goes Colorado Mesa, Westminster, Western Colorado, and Dixie State. The Trailblazers would love to get a win tonight and make some moves and have a shot at Western Colorado tomorrow night as well. Again, the Trailblazers, as we revisit the halftime stats, 33% in the first half from the field, and it's London Pavlica leading the way, our leading early candidate for our SkyWest Airlines player of the game. 11 points, 10 rebounds, a first half double-double, 3 assists as well. So if London Pavlica can get 7 assists in the second half, which is certainly feasible, you could see the first triple-double of the season, and it's just the second triple-double of this program's history. But Drayson, more importantly, the Trailblazers absolutely want this win. They need this win. They have goals they want to accomplish. They don't just want to play in the RMAC tournament. They want to host some games in the RMAC tournament, and it starts with getting some wins here and protecting home floor, protecting the Burns Arena. So if the Trailblazers are to finish this thing off and to win this ball game, what do you see needing to happen in the second half?
I think you've just got to score. You've got to be able to make open shots. I said earlier in the broadcast, if this is going to be a 45 to 50-point kind of game in that range, that plays right into Colorado Mesa's hands. That's exactly the kind of game that they want to play. Make it tough on you defensively, keep your score low, and score enough points to win the game. But if you, as a Dixie State team, can score a lot of points, I mean, we know this team can only averages 63 points per game, and so they're right on pace for that right now, maybe just a hair more than 63 at this point because they had a really good 3-point shooting half in that first half. They're going to cool off from there, so you can expect them to be right around that 65 points per game. If you can run the score up and get to 70, 75, who knows, maybe you can get to 80 if you have an awesome half in the second half. You're going to give yourself a great chance because it's a team that doesn't rely on their offense to win games. They rely on their defense to hold you to a number, and they score more than that number. And so if you can score a lot of points in this one, you're going to have a good chance going down the stretch.
Dixie State with 32 points right now, so on pace, if they were to double that, is 64 points. The most points Colorado Mesa has given up this season, 61 points in a 70-61 win over MSU Denver. The most points the Mavericks have scored, 87, and that was the first game of the year. An 87-49 win over Cameron out of the Lone Star Conference. 33-32. We're back at it. Both teams, the original starting 5. Mavericks, the first possession of the third quarter, moving right to left across your radio dial. And an offensive foul, first possession of the third quarter for the Mavericks, and it will be Sierra McNichol picking up the foul on the moving screen.
Yeah, and she just was never set there. She came over to set the screen, but she never actually planted her feet. That's an easy call for the referee.
9:50 to go, just 10 seconds into the third quarter, and Dixie State looking to retake the lead. Its only lead of the game has been a 32-30 lead late in the second quarter. Loftus will try to pass out to Stevenson, and it's stolen back. Teams trade turnovers. And here comes Sydney Brandon up the left side, angling to the center of the floor now. We'll back it up. D-Logo straight away. To the right side, Winira Now to Brandon, holding right wing, 14 to shoot. Mavericks methodical in the second possession of the third quarter. Rhaenyra, right side Brandon. Brandon gives to Anderson, right corner three, too strong, and the rebound to Chesney Stevens. She goes up high and snares the board.
And again, if you're Dixie State, you want them to take those late in the shot clock shots, as they had to kind of force that one up from three, a shot you don't want to take if you're Colorado Mesa, especially in that low shot clock situation.
33-32, Stevenson has it stripped out of her hands, and then it's at the feet of Stevenson and Sophie Anderson, and a whistle rings out. Are they going to say that the Colorado Mesa player kicked it? Okay,
yeah.
Sophie Anderson kicked the ball. Looked like Kesley Stevenson did too at the same time. We'll get another look at it. Kind of, yep, let's see the kick.
Yeah, that's a great call. It was a baseline referee that called that one.
She had the best look at it.
She did.
33-32. Dixie State trailing by one. Neither team has scored in the third quarter. Pavlica looking back door, nothing there. Instead, Loftus right wing. Shot clock down to 5 and a 4. Loftus to Franks with 2 and a 1. Got to have a shot. Didn't get it out of her hands in time. Shot clock violation.
Yeah, it was a great move by Allie Franks. She just needed a second longer to have just a good look. She drives baseline, gets to that short corner, and the pump fake sends her defender flying by, but just ran out of time on the shot clock.
8:25 to go third quarter. Dixie State trailing 33-32 on the Camping World scoreboard. Rhaenyra will spot up 3, right wing, too strong. Tap back out, offensive rebound of Mavericks. And here's Rigsby. No, thought about a 3. Instead, then does take a 3. Pump fake, one dribble to the left, and buries a 3 from the left wing.
And Maddie Loftus left her feet. She bit on the pump fake from Rigsby, and she took one dribble to her left and pulled up from 3 again, and she knocks it down for her 17th point of the afternoon.
36-32. Mavericks a 4-point lead. Pavlica to Ashley Greenwood, just checked in. Loftus, free throw line, ducks inside, she's fouled. Free throws coming. And if you're Dixie State, that's what you've got to do. I mean, if Colorado Mesa wants to contest aggressively and want to try to block everything, you take it at them and draw the foul. That's what we saw Dixie State do in the second quarter. And now right back to the free throw line is Maddie Loftus, where she was 4 for 4 in the first half. First one here is good.
And Maddie Loftus, he's just being aggressive and going right to the paint, and she just drives it right at the teeth of the Colorado Mesa defense, and that's what you got to do when Nira comes over to help. And just a little bit late, fouls Maddie Loftus.
Second free throw rolls around and falls through. Loftus, 9 points, 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Free throws brought to you by Vintage at Canyonlands. And it's a 2-point game, 36-34, 7:38 to go third quarter. Siemens for 3, right corner, missed it. A foul away from the ball, right in front of the ball, really. The foul that was not on the shooter. Sydney Brandon set a screen and then was kind of pushed to the ground by Allie Franks right here. So it did not affect the shooter. Colorado Mesa essentially will have an offensive rebound here and have it back with 20 to shoot. Anderson will trigger to Rhaenyra, and it's tipped and stolen away by Ashley Greenwood. Are they going to call a foul on Ashley? They are. And Coach Gustin is incredulous, as is Ashley Greenwood. She makes the initial tip, and then it's a loose ball from that point. They each have a hand on the other's hip, and that's just a 50-50 ball. That's a tough call against Ashley Greenwood. She made a great play.
Yeah, it was a great play to get that left hand in there to tip the ball away on that handoff exchange there, that screen exchange. Tough break for Dixie State.
Mavericks will have it again. Here's Brandon to Rhaenyra. To Turner, free throw line jumper. She likes that spot. Hasn't been able to hit yet, though. From that spot, missed it. Pavlica the rebound.
But credit the length of Kesley Stevens to get a hand up in her face and make it tough on her.
And Coach Gustin just put her back in before that play. Pavlica spinning in the lane, tosses one up. It's way off. Dixie State can't secure the offensive rebound. Here come the Mavericks. It's Brandon. We'll leave it for Siemens, and it's stolen from behind by London Pavlica. Brandon probably should have just laid that one up. Instead, tried to leave it for Siemens, and Pavlica was able to recover and make the steal.
And great effort from London Pavlica. She was 94 feet from baseline to baseline to get that steal.
Dixie State still without a field goal here in quarter number 3, and approaching 3.5 minutes gone by. Pavlica Left wing, shot clock to 7, down to 5. She'll fire a 3. It's short. Offensive rebound. Stevens, he's fouled on the putback. 6:32 to go, third quarter, and Chesney Stevens will try to tie it up from the free throw line. And the foul against Winera. Stevens 79% for the free throw line this season. 2 for 2 today. And gets that one. 5 points for Stevens, and with this one could tie the game up at 36-36. And missed that one. A long rebound chased down by Catlett. 36-35, Dixie State within 1. Back to the halftime deficit now of 1 point. Turner driving left, elevates, can't hit off the window. Dixie State the rebound.
And once again, the length of Kesley Stevenson playing a factor there.
And a turnover. Miscommunication between Pavlica and Greenwood. Get your 2 main point guards out there on the floor at the same time. Pavlica was expecting Greenwood to come back to her. Greenwood kept going, and the pass sailed out of bounds. 36-35, 6:04 to go, third quarter. Turner inside, runs over Stevens. No whistle, just a no call, and the rebound is lost and out of bounds. Dixie State will get it back. That contact was outside the restricted area, so shocked there was a no call.
And that was good action run by Taylor Wagner. What do you do to get Kesley Stevenson off your best player, off of your best scorer, Daniela Turner? You run her off a double screen. That had Kesley Stevenson trailing the play, and she was able to get Daniela Turner an easy look.
36-35. Dixie State with the possession. Can they retake the lead here? Still looking for that first field goal of the third quarter. We're nearly halfway through the period. Stevenson catches left elbow, a little bit of contact from Turner, no whistle. To the right side, and Pavlica, it's tapped away by Brandon and should complete the steal. One-on-one with London inside now, throws up a shot. Circus shot, missed it, was trying to draw the contact. No whistle, Dixie State the rebound. Here's Pavlica in transition. Swipe that from behind, loses, regains. Now here's Stevenson to the right side of Franks. Franks to Pavlica. Dixie State just 3 of 13 from the outside today. Shot clock down to 12. Here's Franks, right wing. She'll try a 3. No. Brandon the rebound. For the Mavericks, she'll push it across the timeline. Leaves it with Rigsby. 3 right wing is short. Ball is loose. Stevenson is the last to touch it, and it goes out of bounds at 5 minutes even, and that will bring us to the third quarter media timeout. Colorado Mesa 36, Dixie State 35, a low-scoring third quarter, and it remains at the halftime deficit of 1 point. Take the 60-second timeout and come back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Section 110, row C, seat 13. There's your lucky winner. She's going to go home with a few bucks with a pizza pie. Cafe. All right, friends, it's time for our True True Race with Kiss Game. Sponsored by True True.
Welcome back. Dixie State a 36-35 lead, or a deficit. And as we take an early look at our SkyWest Airlines player of the game for Dixie State, certainly would be London Pavlica. 11 points, 11 rebounds, a double-double, 3 assists as well for London Pavlica. And we'll continue to keep an eye on what she does through the rest of this game. Remind you, fly St. George Regional Airport, you're 1 flight from anywhere. Book today to fly to Dallas, Fort Worth, Phoenix, Los Angeles, Denver, or Salt Lake City. All flights operated by SkyWest Airlines. Mavericks with possession out of the timeouts. Inbound is Siemens. Hand back off Brandon. Shot clock at 18. Plenty of time for CMU. Brandon behind the back dribble. Kills the dribble now. Free throw line looking for help. He'll pass it out and then get it right back. 8 to shoot. Hands off to Turner. Turner crossing over on Stevenson. Helped by Pavlica. 2 to shoot. 1 to shoot. 3 on the way. Right wing. Yes. With 1 second left on the shot clock, and Rigsby splashes it home. And that hurts.
Yeah, that one kills if you're Dixie State. You played great defense for the entirety of the shot clock, and Rigsby hoists one up as the shot clock buzzer goes off, and it goes in.
Loftus loses, regains on the right wing, and Dixie State trailing 39-35. Dixie State still without a field goal here in the third quarter. Franks kicking to the left corner. Good find. Pavlica for 3, left it short. Looked kind of weird coming out, and Colorado Mesa the rebound.
And she had Kesley Stevenson in the other corner, a better three-point shooter.
And the Mavericks find a layup in transition. It's Tori Catlett, and just like that, it's a 6-point Colorado Mesa lead, and Coach Gustin wants timeout. Can't afford to let this one get any farther away from you. And he'll take the timeout, and that will take us to another media. 3:52 remaining. Dixie State trailing 41-35. Can they fight back into this one? We'll find out after the 1-minute timeout on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
Play Eric Amarola's Race Day Mix.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Between Dixie State 7-4, the 12th all-time meeting between Dixie State and Colorado Mesa in the Division II era. Trailblazers' last win against the Mavericks came in 2010. Colorado Mesa sporting a 6-game win streak in the series and a 41-35 lead in the game. Trailblazers with possession out of the timeout, 3:50 remaining, trailing 41-35. Franks inside, has it blocked and into the hands of Siemens.
Yeah, Siemens once again makes her presence known. Her 4th block already tonight, as they ran the same play on the previous possession.
The Mavericks trying to add to a 6-point advantage here in the third quarter. Rigsby. A runner, no. Maddie Loftus the rebound.
Good box out there by Maddie Loftus. Dixie State continuing to lead the rebound battle.
Here comes my captain obvious statement of the night. Dixie State has got to score. Pavlica for 3, left corner, no. Rims out. Brandon the rebound for the Mavericks. 3:08 remaining third quarter, and Franks is going to get called for a reaching foul on the way up the floor, reaching in.
See, Allie tries to steal one away here, and just with that left leg, I think just got contact with Brandon there.
But anytime referee sees a player fall on a reach in the same play, it's almost automatic the whistle's coming. 41-35, here's Turner working on Stevenson, loses it out of bounds. Kesley Stevenson has done an incredible job on Daniela Turner tonight.
Hasn't scored a single point, but she has kept the leading scorer for the Mavericks at just 5 points. Incredible defense several times in this quarter alone as she disrupted Daniela Turner.
Do you believe in the curse of the commentator?
Sure.
You just said that Turner hasn't scored yet. You might have jinxed it.
I said Stevenson hadn't scored yet.
Oh, Stevenson. Because Turner has scored. I knew how to read. Dixie State with possession, and 8 to shoot. Inside Moiai, lays it up and in. A good look from Maddie Loftus. And it's a 4-point game again.
Moiai just got on the backside of Siemens there and was just kind of able to peep her backside into her long enough to get that over the top pass.
Turner, right corner. Dixie State within 4, 41-37, 2:14 remaining. Brandon, give to Turner. Screen coming on Stevenson's right side, but Turner doesn't use it. Instead, throws a circus shot out the window from 15 feet away, right side, and somehow it finds its way through. Turner with 9 points.
And I guess if you're a believer in the law of averages, that one had to go in.
And a tip and a steal the other way as Pavlica had it knocked out of her hands by Brandon, who was trailing the play. 43-37. Dixie State trailing by 6. And a tip and whistles. Maddie Loftus is going to get called for a foul. She's going for a loose ball after the tip. And kind of, I don't know if she tripped while she was going for the loose ball.
Well,
she just banged into Rigsby.
Catlett was trying to throw it down low to Rigsby. Rigsby wasn't looking for the ball, so as Catlett went to release it, she realized that she's not looking at me. I'm going to throw it to Dixie State, and that's kind of where that play developed.
Inbound pass to Turner, missed the close layup. Dixie State the rebound. Only one field goal in this quarter for Dixie State. Now here's Loftus for 3 right wing. Short, leaves it short. Ball is loose. Loftus will chase the ball all the way back across the timeline and has the rebound. That may be the longest rebound she will get in her entire career. Chased it back down nearly to the other 3-point line. Olsen for 3 right wing, no. Brianna Gillen offensive rebound, putting it back up, no. Turn to the rebound for the Mavericks.
Dixie State just not hitting their 3-pointers right now, are 0-for-6 in this second half.
Turner will drive inside and score right side, and it's an 8-point game, 45-37. Dixie State needing some points here as Brandon nearly got another steal. She likes to kind of trail the play, see if she can be sneaky and get a steal. Loftus to Moyai. Moyai to Olsen, left wing. Top of the key now, Rihanna Moyai to Gillen, left elbow. Gillen to Loftus, a little bit of space, fires a 3 straight away, she rattles it home. 45-40, Trailblazers within 5, 25 seconds remaining, shot clock is off.
And Dixie State had to have that one, a little shot in the arm as they try to finish this quarter off with a nice defensive stop after a 3.
It'll be Turner, D-logo straight away, 10 seconds remaining, third quarter. Down to the 7 and 6, 5, Turner swinging around. Here's Rigsby with 2 and 1. Turner at the horn, straight away, and she hits it at the buzzer to make it an 8-point Maverick lead again, a 3-point shot straight away. Fading away even.
And let's see if she got it off in time and looked to be good in real time, and they certainly counted it. Let's see on the replay if she did indeed get it off in time.
We'll take a look at that when we can. Perhaps a little trouble with the replay machine. 48-40, but it looked good in live action. Trailblazers down by 8 after 3 quarters of play. Gonna have some work to do in quarter number 4. Let's keep it right here. Instead of stepping away, let's keep it right here. And we'll just kind of talk through this. Remind you that timeouts are brought to you by Dairy Queen.
And they are going to review this.
Are going to look at it to see if they got it off. So they'll radio back into the van. It looked live.
In real time, it did look like it was good, but you never know in those type of situations. And I mentioned this on our previous broadcast last weekend. If you have the technology and you have accessible, why not use it and make sure you get the call right? They are indeed reviewing it right now.
She did indeed get it off. Plenty of time. 0.7 seconds on the clock when she got it off. SkyWest Airlines player of the game. We kind of mentioned it earlier in the game. Right now for Dixie State, it's looking like London Pavlica. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Maddie Loftus has 12 points, 3 rebounds as well. She's 6 of 6 from the line. She made a couple of 3-point shots. So Maddie Loftus and London Pavlica, our player of the game watch, brought to you by SkyWest Airlines. As we enter the fourth quarter of play. 48-40, Dixie State trailing by 8, and Colorado Mesa will have the possession out of the timeout. And here come the Mavericks. Mavericks have not had a double-digit lead yet tonight. Been within single digits all night long. Can they change that here? Shot clock to 5 and 4, they'll throw it away. Good defense by Dixie State. The Trailblazers will have it back, 48-40, trailing by 8.
Yeah, and that offensive possession was going nowhere for Colorado Mesa. Even if they don't throw it away there, they're going to have to force up a long 3 near the end of the shot clock. Not a lot of offense there on that possession.
Olsen will bounce to Moyai. Moyai, dribble handoff to Loftus. Loftus swings it back. Gillen open three straight away is short. Greenwood trying to track down the offensive rebound. She can't handle it, but she does tip it off of Sydney Brandon, and Dixie State will have it back.
Once again, Dixie State just not able to knock down those open threes. They're 4 of 20 on the game, just 1 of 8 in this second half.
Here's Ashley Greenwood. A handoff to Loftus, crossing over to her right. Now to the left, leaving for Gillen. Swinging it right. Greenwood will line up a three, misfires from the right wing. And Colorado Mesa has the rebound. Rigsby, baseline left side, working on Olsen, is fouled on her way to the bucket. And a couple of free throws coming for Kylan Rigsby.
And another tendency for Dixie State, especially when you're a team that kind of relies on the three-pointer a little bit. I know the tendency, especially being down by 8, it's the fourth quarter, you got to kind of maybe press a little bit more, but you can't get it all back in one possession. I think they may be trying to settle a little bit too much for the three-pointer right now, and you're not hitting them. You're 4 of 21 on the game. You've only hit 1 in this second half. You've got to try to get some momentum going in other parts of the game. When you get to the rim, get fouled, get an and one, and then maybe see if you can get into a better rhythm.
48-40. First free throw is up and no good. Missed it. Rigsby will have one more. On the way, got it. 49-40. The lead still has not gone over 9 points. Dixie State will try to go on a run. They went on a run in the second quarter. Before halftime, can they do the same here in quarter number 4? It was a 9-point lead in the second. Identical 9-point lead here. Stevenson wide open under the bucket, and a good find by Stevens, and she lays it up and in. 49-42, 8:20 remaining fourth quarter.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of action on that offensive possession for Dixie State. Kesley Stevenson makes a nice backdoor cut and gets an easy bucket at the rim.
Here's Turner inside. No. Stevens the rebound. Colorado Mesa put that shot up pretty quick. And it's all about time and possession as you get late in these games, knowing how big of a lead you have and whether or not you can afford to spend some time on your possession. Stevens on the left elbow, left open, so she'll fire and hit. Left elbow jumper. Back-to-back buckets for the Trailblazers, and it's a 5-point game.
Yeah,
49-44.
Stevens just turned around and realized her defender was sagging off a little bit. Figured I'll take this 15-foot jumper and buried it.
7:33 to play. And now Colorado Mesa going to burn some clock here before they go into the offense. Here's Turner standing in the center of the floor. D-Logo, 9 to shoot. Siemens, free throw line jumper. No, may have been blocked from behind by Dixie State. And here come the Trailblazers. If you're Colorado Mesa, you got to be careful not to change your game too much.
Yeah, become too complacent, especially with 7 minutes to go. A long time to go still here in this game.
Stevens to Stevenson, right wing to Maddie Loftus. 10 to shoot. Loftus to the right wing to Stevens. She'll line up a three. Bang! Chesney Stevens! And a timeout called by Dixie State. A 7-0 run for the Trailblazers. And it's 49-47, Dixie State within 2, and Chesney Stevens just on another level right now.
And that's exactly what I talked about. Those three-pointers are coming within the rhythm of your offense, and you got it going early. The momentum started to switch. That backdoor pass from Stevens to Stevenson, who laid it up and in, and then the 15-foot jumper by Stevens. That got you more into a rhythm offensively, which opened up the floor for that wide-open three from Chesney Stevens, and now you're right back into it on a big run.
Let's keep it here. Timeout's brought to you by Dairy Queen. You sign up for the DQ mobile app, you can receive a free small blizzard. That sounds good. Step away for a minute, Jason. I gotta go get a cookie jar blizzard from Dairy Queen. Remember, you get new deals on the app every week as well. Remember, this is fan food, not fast food.
I don't want to step away from this game at all. Last 7 minutes of this one's going to be exciting. I don't want to miss a single second of the action.
Where's the interns? Run over Dairy Queen for us, please. Trailblazers 32% from the field for the game. Just 5 of 22 from beyond the arc. But with Stevens hitting that one, perhaps we'll see maybe the lid come off late. You got to credit Colorado Mesa, though, as well. Every time Allie Franks, Kesley Stevenson, Maddie Loftus, for the most part, have had a touch outside the arc, there has been someone trailing them hand in their face, and they know that they're just very good defensively, and they know Dixie State is a three-point shooter. You can hear head coach Taylor Wagner and everybody on the bench. Anytime someone that's on their scouting report as a three-point shooter touches the ball, they're screaming out shooter every single time. So it is credit to this Colorado Mesa defense as well, but perhaps that will be the shot that takes the lid off, as it's just a 2-point game, 49-47, 6:48 to go.
And if you're Dixie State, you just kind of keep the momentum going right now. Obviously, you go on a 7-0 run, but every time they've gone on a run, Colorado Mesa has responded very well. Keep this momentum on your side, get a nice stop here, and see if you can't tie or take the lead on the next possession.
6:40 remaining, fourth quarter. Dixie State trying to get a stop and then either tie or take the lead. 49-47. Colorado Mesa going deep into the shot clock again. Rigsby hands off to Turner. Ball's loose. She regains. Driving inside. She'll throw up a runner. No. Tapped around and into the hands of Turner, and then gets it to go on the second chance. 3 white jerseys there. They couldn't get the offensive rebound.
And I think that went almost in the hands of all 3 of those. It was touched and tipped around and went through the legs of a Dixie State player, and just, you know, when it rains, it pours if you're Dixie State on that possession.
51-47. Dixie State within 4. Stevens closely guarded now after back-to-back buckets. Pavlica to Franks. Now to Loftus, 7 to shoot. Step back 3, left wing is short. And Siemens quickly jumping on that rebound.
Coach Guskin begging for his players to try to get to the rim, maybe get some offensive rebounds, or just put a little bit more pressure on the defense, getting to the rim.
Crucial part in this game, a 4-point Colorado Mesa lead. If you're Dixie State, cannot afford to see that grow up to 9 points or higher, where it's been off and on throughout the game. Turner will jump it in the paint. No. Maddie Loftus the rebound.
Sydney Brandon there, she loves to try to just stay behind there and try to get that steal quickly in the backcourt.
Here's Stevens handing off to Franks. Thought she might take a 3 instead of the free throw line, looking back door on the pick and roll with Chesney Stevens. And Stevens was there, but Franks missed her. Threw it up and over the top and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was absolutely the right play off the pick and roll. Stevens just rolled to the rim and was going to have a nice, easy look, but the pass a little bit too far, a little bit too high maybe for the 6'1" frame of Chesney Stevens, and that one goes out of bounds.
And here go the Mavericks again. Sydney Turner is maybe Sydney Brandon. 2 steps across half court, just sitting there with possession. Shot clock under 10 now. The possessions are going to start being at a premium here, and a foul as Stevens fouls Sydney Brandon on the way to the bucket.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe run that replay back if we can. It looked like an elbow from Sierra McNichol. I guess we don't have time now. We got to get into the free throws, but maybe after this first free throw, run that replay back. I wanted to see initially when that ball was entered into Sierra McNichol, Chesney Stevens tried to get her hand in that one. I guess we won't have time for the replay, but it looked like it might have been a little elbow thrown by Sierra McNichol.
Brandon makes the first free throw and the second. 83% free throw shooter. And now Dixie State with 4:34 remaining. I'll say it again. Possessions are at a premium here. Can't afford to go away empty. Pavlica, right corner, 20 to shoot. To Loftus, harassed by Rigsby. It's a screen, will drive inside, trying to pass to the corner, had an open layup, stolen away by Franks under the basket, and it's tipped out of bounds. Possession will stay with Dixie State. Probably could have called Siemens for a foul. Have not called a foul against Colorado Mesa in this quarter. As you see Franks come in and get the clean steal. And it wasn't Siemens. No foul, just dribble off the foot of Brandon. London Pavlik at a trigger. Inside Stevenson, catches, and it's fouled from behind. She'll go to the line.
Siemens can't believe it. She thought she got all ball in this one, but a good out-of-bounds play drawn up by Coach J.D. Gustin. He's got a Kesley Stevenson, a nice pass there, and from behind, and not a lot of contact on that one. I think Stevens has a valid argument.
Don't show that one on the video board. 53-48 as Stevenson makes the first free throw. We'll take it though. Trailblazers trying to fight back into this one. Both free throws good for Kesley Stevenson. That may be just the thing she needs See a couple of free throws go through. Been a little cold from the field as of late. McNichols will force up a quick shot. And Dixie State has the rebound, and I'm positive that's not the shot Coach Wagner wanted for the Mavericks.
No doubt about it, especially with so much time left on the shot clock.
53-49. Dixie State within 4. Here's Franks. Driving left. A runner off the window. No. Ball tapped back out into the hands of Brandon. She wants to push the ball up the floor. Kicks to the right side. 3 on the way from Rigsby. Off the mark. Allie Franks the rebound. And has it stripped out of her hands, but it goes to London Pavlica. Here come the Trailblazers. 3:30 to go. 4-point game. Anything can happen at this point. Strap on your seatbelts. Pavlica to Franks. Looking into Stevens. And he threw it away again in a steal for Colorado Mesa.
And those turnovers, especially late in the game, are killing Dixie State right now. They're already up to 14 turnovers. They had 6 at halftime. That means 8 turnovers in this second half. We still got 3:08 to go.
And Coach Wagner going to take a timeout with 3:08 remaining. 53-49, and it's going to be a full timeout, so let's take it. 1 minute timeout and back on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I'm Smokey Cole Bear, filling in, because for 75 years, Smokey only said...
I guess it's only a 30.
Can prevent wildfires. Meanwhile, the song was wrong. We did start the fire. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Dixie State trailing 53-49, and Colorado Mesa with just 1 timeout remaining now. 3:08 to go. 21 seconds on the shot clock for the Mavericks, but if you're Colorado Mesa, if you play this right, you can bleed some clock every possession, and that's what they're going to do. Here's Brandon.
But they've been doing that on the previous couple of possessions. They've not got a lot of points off it, so they're kind of becoming complacent. That could work in Dixie State's favor.
Turner to McNichols. McNichols looking inside Siemens. Fumbles, regains, throws up a shot. No. Ball tapped around. Matty Loftus the rebound for the Trailblazers. 2:45 remaining.
Works in Dixie State's favor to force up a bad shot late in the shot clock.
And Dixie State trailing by 4 with 2:35 to go. 53-49. It's now or never. Loftus with space doesn't take the 3. And Franks is, no, they didn't call a foul. They called a jump ball. Allie Franks pleading with the official, saying she got my arm.
Yeah, I don't love this. As we get a good look at the replay here, and you see
I mean, it's all over. Both hands all over the arm, and they call it jump ball. Inbound pass, Moyai. Layup, no, missed it right at the bucket. And a foul on the rebound as Moyai came down on the leg of Kelsey Siemens, and she is in pain under the lock, under the basket.
Ooh, that didn't look good.
Oh,
Looks like it's going to be the right, maybe the right knee or the right leg maybe of Siemens, and just an awkward landing. As if we can get one more look at that replay and see maybe exactly what happened. Moyai just was coming down, and she kind of turned to run back up the floor.
And let's do this rather than look at it again. Let's take a break. Let's take a 30-second timeout for an injury, and give the trainers some time to work on Kelsey Siemens. Hope she is going to be okay. But that did not look good. Let's take a 30-second timeout and come back with 2:25 remaining and a 53-49 Colorado Mesa lead on the Trailblazer Basketball Network.
I take the road less traveled, run free, unwind, unravel, someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
Welcome back inside the Burns Arena. Siemens able to be helped to the bench, and they'll continue to work on her, and hopefully she's okay. I don't care what team you're playing for. I mean, injuries are part of the game, but never like to see anybody get hurt. Like to see both teams at full strength as well. Colorado Mesa the other way. And here's Turner to set up the offense. 15 to shoot, game clock at 2:10. Turner crossing over to the left, loses, now regains. Doesn't have a dribble though. Passes to Rigsby, and Loftus with the steal. And then she's fouled on the way back up the floor by Sydney Brandon. Brandon trying to argue that Loftus was pushing off.
I mean, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know, at that point, Maddie Loftus had the clear steal and had the possession, and Brandon kind of just ran into her. That's usually going to go with the offensive player 9 out of 10 times.
53-49. Under 2 to play. Dixie State has got to have a bucket on this possession to really make things interesting. Pavlica for 3 straight away and left it well short, airballed it out of bounds. 1:45 remaining in a 4-point game. It was a wide open look, and she hit a couple early on, but her last few attempts have been short. I don't know if there's just not much in the legs or what.
But that's not been where you've been successful as an offense for Dixie State. It's been where you've had a lot of action and been able to go inside out for those threes, not just pulling up from wherever.
Turner with 1:28 to go. How many chances can Dixie State create? Rigsby fouled by Moyai. Rigsby, a 70% free throw shooter in a 4-point game.
And looked like pretty good positioning there from Brianna Moyai. No, I take it back. It looked like originally she was pretty straight up, but upon replay, looked like she kind of just lowered that left hip into the body of Rigsby. A good call there by the referees.
Rigsby makes the first free throw. And Coach Wagner is going to take the entire time to talk to the other 4 Mavericks on the floor. Both free throws up and in. 6-point game, 55-49, and the Trailblazers have had chance after chance, but have not been able to break through late in the 4th. Stevenson to Loftus. Loftus right wing. Time playing a factor here. 1:07 remaining, and a 6-point lead for the Mavericks. Here's Pavlica holding. You got to move. You're down 6. Pavlica kicking to Moyai for 3, right corner. Up and over the top of the rim. Tapped around. It's loose. Brandon has it. Falling to the floor. Throws it ahead. And now it's Catlett with it. Now to Rigsby up the right side. And they're trying to find a foul. Coach Gustin calling the foul call for nearly 10 seconds, and then gets it with 38 seconds remaining.
That's going to go against Kesley Stevenson, her second. It'll put Brandon to the free throw line, an 83% free throw shooter.
And we were talking during the break off the air as Brandon goes to the line for 2 free throws, makes the first. 7-point game now, and looking like it may be out of reach for the Trailblazers, that Dixie State really couldn't have asked for more in this game. You had chance after chance after chance with it being a 1 or 2 possession game and just couldn't convert. Credit to Colorado Mesa defense as well. Both free throws good. 8-point game. Pavlica to Franks. 30 seconds remaining. Franks driving inside, will hang and hit. 57-51. They'll get over 50 points at least. And then Pavlica the quick foul, trailing by 6, 22 seconds to play.
And how about this? Kylan Rigsby, 23 points in today's game. Season high coming into today's game, 17. So she has done just about everything for the Mavericks today. Daniela Turner, she gets 12 points, but well below her season average of just over 15. But really, this game has been dictated by what Kylan Rigsby has been able to do offensively throughout the entire game.
Well, and the game plan was certainly to slow Turner down. And, Rigsby stepping up. Siemens had a big game as well. First free throw is in. Second, it rims out. Here's Loftus across the timeline. Pump fake, fires a quick 3. No, rebounded Turner, and Stevenson will foul quickly. And that should do it. 12.5 seconds remaining. It's like Colorado Mesa is going to win this one. And, you know, everything that Dixie State really could have wanted in this game, other than to see some shots go through maybe. And they're going to look back at the tape and they're going to say, man, we had chances.
They certainly did.
And 30% from the field, 16 of 53, 5 of 26 from outside. Turner, free throw up and in. You know, credit the defense of Colorado Mesa getting out high and making the three-point shooters of Dixie State uncomfortable and forcing 14 turnovers tonight. Splits the free throws, shot clock is off. And Colorado Mesa should be able to just dribble this one out. It's 59 to 51. And the Mavericks, as good as advertised defensively. And Kylan Rigsby is going to take the chance to turn and clap at the Dixie State bench. Not sure that was necessary, but when you're the team that's expected to win, Trailblazers fall 59 to 51. And Colorado Mesa will improve to 16-2, 12-0 in the RMAC. Dixie State will fall to 12-6, 7-5 in RMAC play. And for just the second time this season, Dixie State has lost 2 consecutive games. Dixie State falls in this one. And we'll be joined immediately by head coach J.D. Gustin right here in the postgame show, brought to you by Guru Sports Grill. Coach, a tough one. You always hate to lose, and this one, especially when you feel like you had chances, had possessions, with it being a 1 or 2 possession game, and just not able to find the looks you wanted offensively down the stretch.
We got looks, we just missed them. They made, 4 desperation threes. They're good. No, don't get me wrong. We missed open threes, and they made contested threes. That's the difference in the game. We guarded our tails off. Super proud of our kids. This is a fight game. Colorado Mesa is the best program in this conference because they play harder than everybody else. They're tougher than everybody else. It's not what they run. I know they do. They play a certain style, but it's about how hard they play and how tough they are. I'm really proud of our kids for the way that they matched that tonight. Mesa made shots, we missed them.
Trailblazers following this one, and Coach Gustin with us, and certainly that is the case. I mean, you have good looks, just couldn't get it to go. Good from the free throw line. What's the message to the locker room when you go in to say, hey, you know, we did some good things tonight, just couldn't get them to fall. Now we got to be ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah. I'm super proud of our kids because our number one thing was to match their toughness. And we did for most of the game. We did for probably, 32, 34 minutes, I think. But you know, they're really good at what they do. I'm super proud of, Kesley's hurt, and she did a great job of guarding that rest player, and I'm proud of them across the board. I'm disappointed that you got to be able to rise to the occasion, and when you get open shots, you got to be able to make them against good teams, and we just didn't.
Coach, I said on the pregame show that in order for you guys to win, you had to score, into the 65, 60, 70-point range. If you were getting down to 45 or 50 points, you're playing into exactly what they wanted to do. The first half, I thought you got out to a great start, and you scored 32 first half points, but then you go into the second half, you only scored 19 points in the second half. Kind of what were they doing in the second half better than in the first half?
Well, that's what they do. You always have a quarter. This 15-8 quarter, that's usually the difference. That's why Mesa's so good. But I don't know if it was anything that we did different or they did different. I feel like, again, we'll go back and look at the shots that the 3 or 4 desperation 3 shots that they
with
got.
1 seconds on the shot clock.
And you got to give them credit for that. I mean, good players make big plays, and that's what they did.
There's one adjustment that you want to see between tonight and maybe tomorrow night. What would you do? I know it's early. You probably got to go back and look at the tape tonight. But, right off the top of your head, you want to take one message into tomorrow night's game. What would that be?
It's to play with the same kind of toughness. Western State is very similar. They're very physical. It wants to be a fist fight. And we're not going to be able to score 65 or 70 points against Mason. You just don't.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get 55.
You kind of got to beat them at their game, right?
Well, 55 for Mesa is the target number in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get there. In our 4 previous meetings, we're averaging 50 against them.
Yeah.
I mean, even 58, then you got a chance with them not making those
threes.
Shots.
Yeah.
I mean, the one kid went career high. Got to give her credit.
Yeah.
Loftus she got a bunch of good looks that were clean, and she missed them. This kid made tough
Made 'em.
shots, and so you give him credit.
The ebbs and flows of the game, right, Coach?
Yeah.
Coach, we appreciate it. Thanks for taking some time with us, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
Head coach J.D. Gustin joining us in the post-game show, brought to you by Guru's Sports Grill. Maddie Loftus finishes with 12. London Pavlik with 11. Didn't score in the second half. 11, 11, and 3. In fact, didn't really do a whole lot in the second half. Allie Franks just with 9 points, and it's interesting to hear that take on the game, and to hear the coach say that from time to time, and to just say, I don't know how much different we really could have done. They're the tough team to get some looks at, and we got some, and they just wouldn't fall.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of tough, especially when they are making those tough shots, especially late in shot clock situations. I brought it up earlier, I think referring to Daniela Turner, I think on 3 or 4 possessions out of maybe 5 or 6 that she got the ball and was guarded by Kesley Stevenson. Had to force up tough shots, and they just weren't going. And then she flipped up a kind of a circus shot, almost a running hook shot over the head that went in. And I mentioned the law of averages. Eventually, you're going to get some of those to go in. And for Dixie State, it wasn't necessarily in your favor today, but like Coach mentioned, you just got to give them credit where credit is due. I mean, they come into today's game as a 30% three-point shooting team. They go 8 of 15 from downtown today. That's 53%. So certainly uncharacteristic for Colorado Mesa to be that on fire from downtown. He mentioned the career high from Kylan Rigsby, a 23-point performance tonight. And you did everything you could do to try to get this win. You held their best player to only 13 points tonight, and just someone else stepped up, and that's really what killed you.
Yeah, what do you do on a night like that? Chesney Stevens, 10 points. Dixie State perhaps not even in the situation they were late in this game without somebody stepping up, because they only made, I think, 1 field goal in the third quarter, and then early in the fourth quarter as well, and Stevens stepped up and hit a left double jumper and then hit a 3, and things were right back in it, and at Dixie State, just not quite able to get over the hump. You go back, there's just a couple things, and Coach brought them up. You go back to the 30-foot 3 with 1 second on the shot clock, the circus shot that you brought up, and then you go back to the fact of Dixie State having 3 straight possessions down by 4 points with under 3 minutes to play, and Colorado Mesa's bleeding clock on every offensive possession. Every time you get a stop, you got to try to convert late in games, and they just couldn't do it. They had some looks, couldn't get it to go. I mean, and it was everybody. I mean, Pavlik had some looks. Gillen had a good look at a 3. Loftus had some, and he brought those things up. So, it's not like tonight where you turn the page. And do you still have the stats pulled up on that Western Colorado Westminster game? Let's take a look at that. Western Colorado, I mean, it's the same type of team. It's 42-36 Western with the lead with 1:54 to go in the fourth quarter, and it's like they're the So Colorado Mesa, the number 1 scoring defense in the conference. Western Colorado, the number 2 scoring defense in the conference. It's gonna be like playing the same type of game over again, and so be ready for the same type of low-scoring affair. And Western Colorado with a 6-point lead on the road in Salt Lake City, a tough place to play. Westminster, a very good team, and Western Colorado looking to try to claim a share of second place tonight, and then come down in here. It's going to be up to Dixie State. You can't afford to lose at home anymore. And if you're Dixie State, you have to win tomorrow night to be able to kind of stay where you want to be in this RMAC race. So it'll be tough. Final thoughts, Jason, before we wrap this up and get ready for the men's game.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's hard to say any one particular game in the season is a must-win, but I kind of get that feeling tomorrow night against Western Colorado that it's almost a must-win. Not just necessarily for the standings. I mean, obviously, if you lose 2 in a row in a tight Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, the standings are going to, knock you down 4 or 5 pegs. But not just because of that, but just because you got to have something positive to be able to look back on for the end of this stretch run that you're going to have to go on the road. You're going to have to go on the road against Colorado Mesa. You're going to have to go on the road again against Western Colorado in just a few weeks' time. So you got to get a signature win for your program, and you can look back to and say, hey, we can play with the top teams in this conference, and we've proven that we can beat them, especially going into a tough stretch run where the majority of your games for the rest of the season are on the road.
There it is. That'll wrap things up inside our Guru's Sports Grill post-game report. Trailblazers falling in this one by a score of 59-51. They kept it close. The lead never went over into double digits, and they were right there throughout the night, just could not quite convert. And like Coach said, great teams rise to the occasion, and they just were not able to rise to the occasion to try to get that victory tonight. Western Colorado a 42-39 lead. Westminster not going away easy. 1:09 remaining in the fourth quarter up in Salt Lake City. We'll have the Mountaineers right here inside the Burns Arena tomorrow night. That'll do it for the women's game. We're going to step away for a little bit, but don't leave us. Stick around. Join us for the men's game. It's going to be a doozy. The number 1 and number 2 teams in the conference doing battle inside Burns Arena for the men's contest. Thanks for listening. I'm Carrick Sagmiller. He's Drayson Ball. Have a good night, everybody.